It's finally here, the moment you've been waiting for. I'm Mandy Day from Albertsons Companies, and I am beyond excited to announce that applications are now open for the 2026 Albertsons Companies Innovation Launchpad. Imagine, dare, dream. This is your chance to bring your brightest, boldest, and most innovative ideas to our shelves. Don't let this opportunity slip by. Your journey to making dreams a reality starts right now, but we can't do it without you. Today, I have the pleasure of welcoming someone truly special, the visionary behind the Albertsons Companies Innovation Launchpad, Karen Ivanus Rogers. Karen has been the driving force behind this program for years, leading everything from the application process to the judging, social media, and awards. Thanks to Karen's leadership, the Launchpad has awarded over $1.2 million in cash and opportunities to innovative brands, helping them shine and grow in our ever-changing industry. Karen, we'd love to hear your vision for the Launchpad and some of your favorite moments and success stories from over the years. What inspired you to create this platform, and what are you most proud of as you look back on its journey?
Well, thanks, Mandy. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. And before I talk about sort of where it came from, I want to give a big shout out to Mene Zotos from our Business Ventures team, because along with me, he came up with so many of the great ideas, and he's just a true business partner. But to answer your question about where Launchpad came from, or where, how did it come about? It was really surprisingly organic in the way that it came together. And I guess the first thing I would say is that I'm not a merchant. I work in the venture team. And Expo for us is a really big deal. We're really deeply connected to this ecosystem. And so we would go every year, big deal for us. And then we started to see press releases from other retailers that were doing things at Expo. And every time we saw those, we'd get so competitive about it. We didn't know exactly what they were doing, but they were doing something. And we would toss ideas around. And finally, I remember being in a hotel room in Los Angeles during BevNet and just saying, we got to do something. We got to do it this year. And it really started by having conversations. And that was just talking to people inside of Albertsons, outside of Albertsons. Here's what we're thinking about doing. What do you think? What would you do? Everybody was so enthusiastic about it. Everybody had ideas. And importantly, at the end of every conversation, it was like, how can we help? And when you're doing work like that it's a good thing and you got to keep going. So we ended up getting hooked up with Range Me. And Range Me had a lot of ideas on how to pull off something like this. But we wanted it to be more than just buyer meetings. We wanted prizes. We wanted judges, a stage, a lot of people. We wanted to be buzzworthy. Before we knew it, we had 300,000 in prizes, 10 judges, a venue at the Hilton. Thank you, New Hope. We had an industry-wide conversation about it. I mean, it was amazing. And kind of at the last minute, I realized we didn't have a photographer. It was before we were working with the great team that you lead, Mandy. And I asked my husband to take a day off from work and come down and take photographs of the whole thing. So that's really how it started, just totally organic. Mandy, you asked me what were favorite moments for me related to Launchpad. And I would say that I have four. One of my absolute favorite things is asking merchants and others if they want to be judges. I feel like Santa Claus. Everybody wants to be a judge. I think it's like a Shark Tank thing. I don't know, but people at Albertsons absolutely love Launchpad and they want to be involved. And there's only so many slots. And so it's a blast asking people. Also, I love reviewing the applications. I know it sounds crazy. We get like 700 applications, and I have to spend several weeks doing it. But I love seeing what the innovation is. I love seeing who really puts a lot into their Range Me site, to their Instagram site, to TikTok, whatever they're doing. I love being able to see that. Sometimes it's funny because the Range Me application process will go a little wonky and I'll receive an application for bananas The next thing is I absolutely love Andress Blackwell. She's our pal from Whipstitch Capital. She's been with us since the beginning, and she plays a critical role helping the brands get in the room and be ready to compete. They're very nervous. They don't know what to expect. And she's like our cheerleader, who is just making it easy for them to go through the experience. She runs them in the room and out of the room, and she's wonderful. So we love her. And then I guess the last thing I would say is I love watching the event videos at the very end. I'm sort of like a mom at Christmas where I don't get to be present because I'm running around doing a million different things. And when I get to watch it all after the fact, I get to see a lot of things that I wouldn't have seen during the day. So that's my favorite parts. Uh, Successes.
Yeah, tell me about some of the successes that you've seen as this comes about.
Oh, sure. Well, for me personally and our team, Launchpad has strengthened our relationship with the national merchandising team. Maybe that seems crazy, but we're this small venture group and we kind of operate on our own. And Launchpad puts us all together and strengthens our relationships going forward. And it's been really invaluable to our work. The other thing I would say is I'm really proud of how many brands, winners and non-winners, that have broken through and secured distribution at Albertsons because they dared to compete. We did a little analysis, and over the past 3 years, brands that have either won a grand prize or brands that have been runners up, their business has totaled $26 million in sales and 5 million units through the register. And that doesn't even count the brands that got in who didn't win, because there's a lot of great brands that just don't win, but they make a connection to Albertsons during this event. So I feel pretty proud of the fact that I've helped emerging brands inside of a huge conventional retailer.
As you should. And, I think all of it's buzzworthy and it's having such an impact on the industry as a whole and at the Albertsons companies from a business perspective across all of our banners in 35 states across the country. And it buzzworthy, I just love the word and I think it's exactly what this is. But tell me, Karen, as Launchpad continues to grow and inspire new waves of brands, what emerging trends or ideas are you really and truly most excited to see from this year's applicants? And how do you think these trends will shape the future of our retail and consumer experience?
Oh, yeah, thanks for asking that. That's a great question. I'm happy to get this information out. The sort of trends that we are most interested in are hydration, functional beverage, protein, fiber, low sugar, low carb, global flavors, and premium pet. Now, that said, we would look at great brands outside of that, but those are our key focus areas. This year, we're putting a special emphasis, and maybe I'd say this is a call out to you right now. We're looking for brands with a strong D2C traction and brands that are influencer led. So in addition to the trends, brands that have that kind of overarching is super interesting to us. And, the reason why is that this social buzz and D2C innovation, we don't want to see that business just stay online. Bring it into the stores. Bring it where people can easily purchase it when they're out every week picking up their groceries.
So I know that we have people who are applicants and we have judges and we have people that follow this because it's so exciting. They might not understand DTC. Can you tell me, is that the direct to consumer innovation that you're
Yes,
looking
yeah,
for?
direct to consumer. So brands that grow natively digitally online, but they don't have much presence in grocery stores or drugstores. They're selling from their own websites or they're selling from Amazon. There's some just amazing brands that build a huge following there, that wouldn't it be so much easier if you could purchase them when you're at the grocery store?
Absolutely. Throw that extra item in the cart when you're walking through. You're inspired by what it is, or if you get a chance to taste it. And I have to say, that's one of my favorite parts of doing this is I get to taste all of these incredible things. And I learned, just like you, I learned so much throughout the entire process. I just get sad when I can't eat pet food. But it's also fun and interesting, and everybody gets so excited. And it does have a huge impact, Karen. And can you do a little reflection for me and tell me what advice you would give this year's applicants who are really hoping to follow in the footsteps of past winners. And how would you encourage them to imagine, dare, and dream?
That's a great question. And that's kind of our little theme this year, those three words. I guess I would say if you are a brand out there, just spend a minute imagining what it might be like to win. What would it be like to take $40,000 home 2 weeks after the event and pay for the expense of Expo? Plus all the data that are part of the prize. I mean, the prize list is quite long. I won't go into it right here, but there is spins data and EYC data and range me. I mean, there's just a ton of things that you would get for free to help you run your business. Then there's the whole part about meeting Albertsons. I mean, it's not like you're being exposed to just the buyer that you pitch to. Albertsons like opens their arms up to the brands inside of Launchpad. You have like an opportunity to walk through the door. And I just imagine what it would be like to form a more deeper relationship with the second largest grocery retailer in the United States, because that's what can happen as a part of this. And as far as dare goes, just go for it. I mean, I think people think it's, who knows what they're walking themselves into. It's 15 minutes. You have a presentation that's 6 to 7 pages long. You pitch to the buyer, you taste the product, you're done. It's not even a huge amount of your time, but it's really how much heart you put into it for the presentation. And then as far as dream, it's like, if you look back, if you could see some of the winners from the past and the doors that, I mean, I guess I know about this because I have relationships with them, but the things that could happen to you as a result of you and your brand, as a result of competing, is just unlimited. So I would just encourage you to lean in and take a chance.
You don't know unless you try, right? And when you think about what it takes to get a product onto a shelf in a grocery store, much less thousands of grocery stores across the country, it's mind-boggling to think that in 15 minutes, you can take a direct route because you imagined to put yourself in a daring position to make your dreams come true. Karen, I am so thrilled to have had the time with you. And I love hearing the story of how this came about and that you are such a pivotal point in making such a difference in so many lives across this country and in this industry and for the grocery industry as a whole, but also for Albertsons companies. So thank you for everything that you do. And thank you so much for the time today. It's just unbelievable, the opportunity that you're providing for so many. So thank you.
Thanks, Mandy. I really appreciate spending this time with you.
Absolutely. And to all of you out there, we are hungry for your stories, your creativity, and your passion. If you've ever dreamt of making a difference, this is your moment. The next big idea, it could be yours. So what are you waiting for? Know someone you think might or should and should dare to dream and imagine? Tag them here. Don't wait for tomorrow. Imagine, dare, dream, and apply today for your chance to win. And let's make history together. We're excited to see you at 2026 Albertsons Companies Innovation Launchpad. Stay tuned.